Western Jaguar with Grand Parade. Now, Jeff, the beginning of the song, I don't think I mentioned it the last time I played it, but it reminds me, the first little bit reminds me a little bit of Foster the People. And it was a really cool one. I love the melody to it, like really tripped out, but kind of had somewhat of a poppy feel to it, but still kind of like a mixed alternative. I mean, I'm not going to pigeonhole you here at all, but it was a great tune. Like, I really enjoyed the flow of it, and it just like I said, it's nice to hear your progression from one album to the next.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, that riff was all our guitarist Kier. I brought that progression to him, and he wrote that little lick for that opening part, and that just kind of like really cemented everything together. Yeah, he definitely Foster the People for sure.
Nice. Mike?
Yeah, man, I think it's really cool. I also hear in that guitar a little bit of like bands like The Cure and things like that. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
That kind of thing going on, which is awesome, let's be honest. Everyone loves The Cure, surely.
Oh, yeah. Disintegration, man. Disintegration.
Yeah, cool. You what, sorry?
I said Disintegration, best album.
Oh yes, we always have to have this debate about The Cure.
Yeah.
It's definitely Bloodflowers. That conversation will go on forever. One day I'm going to come over to Canada and we're going to drink till one of us falls over, or until we agree on which Cure album is the best. Yeah, man, no, I love that track. It's a really cool. It's what I kind of call like a guiding track on an EP, where it's a good kind of litmus test. If you play that, you get a sense of what it's all about. It's got a bit of everything in there, which I hope you think is a fair description.
I think that's super fair, yeah, because that's why we picked it kind of as a single, because it kind of fit everything that we did within the album. Yeah, you pegged it perfect.
I didn't even know that was the single, so how about that?
Look at that.
Awesome.
I'll just make you look smarter and smarter.
You're making you can come back every week.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
You're making me look great. So you mentioned that this is more collaborative. So you're writing it with the other musicians. So how does it? I'm always fascinated. I know it's like a bit of it's almost a cliche question to ask a band, but I'm always interested in how people write songs, because I'm in a band and we write songs one way, but quite often I speak to people who do it in a completely different way. But do you have a process or a way of doing that? And especially in this, where it's collaboration, or?
Yeah, the process is almost still the same with the collaborativeness. It's just kind of adding an extra step. So what I've always done is just, I kind of write the songs myself, either on acoustic guitar, piano, electric guitar, and record them completely on my own. So I add my own bass, my own drums, my own guitar parts, my own keyboards, synths, all that. So I kind of fully build them up.
Nice.
And then from that point, I kind of bring them to the band, and they're like, okay, and they kind of almost like deconstruct. And it's like, okay, I actually think if I play a riff here, that this will sound better, and then we kind of move it around. So it's like I build something up, and then we kind of rejig it together. So it's almost like you're writing the song twice, which I think really works well with what we're doing, because the song becomes a lot stronger after it's been completely written once, stripped down, and then almost rewritten again.
I like that. Do you know, I read a thing, in fact, no, it was a video, for some reason it came up on my favourites, or my suggested videos rather, on YouTube. And it was a video about why The Simpsons is not as good now as it used to be. This has a point, I promise. And
I love The Simpsons.
I love The Simpsons as well, but it was kind of talking about how the first 8 series are regarded as kind of the pinnacle, and if you look at all the ratings and everything else, and you can see that there's less classics in future series, so I kind of get the point. But one of the things is that they were talking about the writing process, and they used to rewrite each joke like 40 odd times before it made it into the show. And so when you deconstruct an old Simpsons joke, it tends to be 4 or 5 things together rather than just like a one-liner where you might hear a laugh track afterwards in most sitcoms.
Yeah.
4 or 5 things where they're little incidents that happen. Some of them are visual, and some of them are sound-based, and some of them are just funny, and some of them are silly, and some of them are dark, and whatever. And they kind of put these 4 or 5 things together in about 15 seconds, and that makes the joke.
Yeah.
But it's interesting because that process is ultimately it's basically the same as what you're talking about, isn't it? It's that kind of, you write something, then you take it apart and almost redo it, and then it forms something that's better. So that's clearly, if it works for The Simpsons and it works for you, we should all try, right?
Yeah, it's something I've always done. Even if I have a song and I have like a certain part of a song I really like, I'll be like, okay, I'll write the whole song and be like, no, only this is good, and then I just kind of leave it for a while, then come back. So it's always worked well for me.
Yeah, I must admit, I used to. This isn't about me. This is about I used to write full songs.
Go for it.
And then I stopped. I now write riffs and then take them to my band and we turn them into songs, because I find that, I was up till 4 o'clock in the morning once writing this, what I thought was going to be a masterpiece, and I remember, I'm a guitarist and I can't play any other instrument, but I remember writing what I thought was an amazing piano part for my keyboard player to play and everything else, and he kind of took it and he went, yeah, that's quite good, but I could do this, this and this, and I was like, I'm never doing that again, because
you gotta be humble. You gotta be humble when you're writing songs too.
Yeah.
Especially when you're bringing to other people. Because that's the thing. Yeah, I used to write these songs and then I just recorded them myself, and there was no one to tell me like, oh, that's a shit idea. Like, why are you doing that there?
This is it. Yeah, you kind of you almost need those checks, don't you? Those checkpoints throughout the process. Otherwise, you end up on something that, at the end of the day, only you like, and that's because you've only heard 10 seconds at a time while you record the third guitar part over it.
Exactly.
or whatever. No, I definitely agree with that. So you mentioned you play the piano and the guitar. Do you play any other instruments?
Yeah, I play guitar, piano primarily. I also can play bass, drums. I played a little bit of trumpet in high school briefly, and I can also do like kind of base level mixing, mastering, audio engineering kind of stuff. So
excellent. What's your favourite song to play on the trumpet?
On the trumpet. Oh man. You're getting hard questions. What did we used to play? This was like when I was in grade 8 and 9 band, and I was always second trumpet because the other guy who played trumpet was way better than I was.
You either hate or love those people. I don't know how it goes.
Yeah. What songs did we play? I don't even remember. We played this song called March of the Olympians. I remember that. And there's this like really blaring trumpet part where we both got to play the same part, and we had to play it as loud as possible. So that was fun.
Nice. There you go. You see, that might seem like a random question, but that's quite a good insight into your childhood. I bet no one else will ask.
No one has ever asked me that.
Bonesy, have you got a more sensible question?
No, I'm at a loss for words at the moment, honestly. which is very rare. I was just gonna say, I mentioned your Simpsons connection there. When I work, my first overnight, when I go into work, first time I leave, like we're both big Simpsons fans, we'll always we'll trade remarks, that sort of thing. And I'll see like some reruns. I do have most seasons on DVD. Anyways, point being is the other day we were talking about when Bart gets a dog Lassie. He has the credit card, the Santos El Helper, and what happens is at the very end he's at the blind guy's house, and the dog finds a pot, and the cops are there. It's like goes wait a minute, Chief, the community missile. That's right. I could go even blinder. And so they call it off. Of course, start playing "Jamming" by Marley, right? And then the other one is when they're, I can't remember what they're looking for, but they destroy like 3 houses. They get to the 4th house, and Chief Wiggum says, he goes, "You know what, man? If this is the wrong house again, I quit." And they bust on the door. He's like, "Hello, police!" Like after they destroy the house, It's like, so there's a quick sidetrack just because it kind of went along. But back to you, Jeff, because we've sidetracked long enough, and sometimes we can get carried away here, as you can see.
This is what always happens when I come on.
Yeah. but we're having a good time, and that's the point, right? So,
exactly.
What do you have planned since you have the live band? Do you guys have some shows lined up? Or are you gonna be like promoting the album by playing around a few bars, or what are you gonna be doing?
Yeah, we played a ton over the summer. We don't have anything lined up at the moment, but we played done about 8 or 9 shows locally in the past couple months, so that's been really good. Just getting the album out there that way, and then just pushing it online, talking to guys like you, just getting the word out there that we have something new out there. So I appreciate being on here because it gets people aware of what's going on.
No, for sure, and it's just like I said, I enjoy having you on. This is like it's been a long time since I've had you back on, and we won't talk about hockey because we might have Mike a little bit lost on that one. And no offense, Mike, but
we can talk about football.
Yeah,
like you. Okay, football. We can talk about how good Manchester United is if we want.
Yeah, but they're not anymore, are they? That's the thing.
3-0. That's not the goal differential. That's all I gotta say.
I think, I mean, I can't hold that conversation for too long.
I tried.
I appreciate you trying, but what I will say is that Man United have seen better days. But as a club that everyone in the entire world supported when they were about 10 in the 90s, including myself, I kind of feel their pain. But equally, I'm not that bothered. If I'm honest.
Okay, so
sorry.
No, that's fine. All right.
Seems to be tonight. There's something about tonight. I don't know what it is. I'm in a really good mood. So before you came on, and also since you've been on, just whenever I open my mouth, it seems to turn into something completely different to where we started. So
because
sidetracks are prominent this evening.
Because usually Mike's a bitter fuck.
Oh well, no. But
Okay, no. I just wait for the reaction, and we all know that is not true by any means at all. So that was just kind of opening, kind of throw that in. So you don't have to excuse me, but I'm
those death threats I keep getting anyway.
Yeah, right. But well,
where does the name? This is a lazy question, but it is interesting because you genuinely have an interesting band name. Where does the name Western Jaguar come from?
Oh, this is a question that is very complex, believe it or not. So when I started this project back in like 2012, 2013, I was trying to figure out a name for the band, and I kept landing on all these different names. So when I got to a new name, I'd ask my friends, I'd be like, what do you think of blah, 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 blah. And then most of the time they'd be like, oh, that's a dumb name. Like, you can't name your band that. So
it was hard to do that, isn't it? I almost
surprisingly hard, yeah.
Salmon once, and someone said, "What's that?" I was like, I don't know. It just had a ring to it.
Yeah, it's weird. Anyway, so that summer I broke my collarbone playing soccer. There's a link between what we were talking about, and so I was like stuck in my house all summer. So I got really into watching like nature documentaries that were on TV at like 4 a.m. And there was one that was on about jaguars and like their lives and like what they did in the wild and stuff. And being like zonked out on like painkillers from my collarbone, I was like, jaguars, yeah, like this is awesome. So I was just gonna call the band Jaguar, but then believe it or not, there was a band in not the town I was in, but the town near, like beside us, that was already called Jaguar. And I'm like, damn it, like what are the chances? So then I'm like, well, I'm on the West Coast, like let's just add like the Western in. So then I told my friends about Western Jaguar, and they thought it was the worst name of all time, and they died laughing. And every time I went back with new names, they were like, no. Like, Western Jaguar is too funny. You gotta be Western Jaguar now. And then people just started calling me the Jaguar. And it just kind of, like, built from there.
like Bubbles as a scorpion and Chiller Park Boys?
Yeah, it's just become, like, this, like, pseudo...